Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Taurus. So the Earth has continued its path, and we see now behind the Sun the constellation Libra. And the Moon as well has made its path, and we see behind the Moon the constellation Taurus. So you are going more and more towards your full moon. That's why the reading is going to be to the right. Both are ruled by Venus. Venus, the loving energy of beauty and enjoying and having the taste of life, right, as well. So as you can see, both of them have pillars that they are framed in, and you are the second house of self-worth, and Libra is of course the seventh house of relationships. And so there is going to be an interesting message coming through, because Libra is now giving you the light, and so you are going to look deeper into what a relationship means to you. The yoga position here, the squatting, holding yourself in your own balance on your tiptoes. The balance is on your fingers in front of your heart. And of course, for you, I gave you a movement. Inhale, I go up, I get the information. Exhale, I bring it down. And I recognize that I am the messenger, the Hierophant, because the word Hierophant means high priest. And so you are the one that brings the message to the people. So this just right now to the Sun and the Moon. That is, of course, today happening, and this moment happens only once a year. And I use this moment to do the reading. I'm not doing it ahead, right? Because I don't feel or believe in that. I also don't want to influence you. I want you to find the message after and then realize, oh, there is the confirmation to the day that your reading is happening. Your court card is the King of Pentacles, the second house of self-worth, right? And so here you are, of course, the number 5, and here you are challenged, right, with what you say, how you speak, and the message that you bring to the people. You always have the 5-pointed star, the Vitruvian mane from Leonardo da Vinci. You have the 3 steps also in your crown, the 3 people in here building the first triangle here, reconnecting you to the Empress. So you see that you are facing in this deck to the left. Left with me is always to the new moon, back to yourself, where Sun and new moon are both in your sign. And when the person faces the right, it's out to the most outer aspect of you, which is a Scorpio, which is giving you the light on your full moon. But you are looking into the left, into the soul, because money or that financial richness needs guidance through the soul. Otherwise, we get corrupted. So if your birthday is between April 10 and May 9th, this is your court card. If not, look in the description. I have listed them all below. Back to the last reading, because everything is cyclical. Virgo Sun gave light to Taurus Moon. Your moon message: be yourself socially and brave out life fully. So you had the Witness, and you had, of course, the Wheel of Fortune, and you had this rune letter, and that's the call, right? That's a calling that I am also today having a look at on the position 20. Now, when I say on the position, it's because the 22 major arcanas are a path, right? That's the soul path. And we will have a look at one card that is bringing you, of course, the message, right, through the Lifruma Healing Oracle that I purchased this year. This is a new deck. And I really like it because the rune alphabet is embedded in all 78 cards. And I put that on the position of the 20 because the 20 is the call, the calling, gathering, the channel, the number 74. Look at that. So there is a call that is calling you to gather with others, to come together. And yeah, it looks like you are getting the call. You are hopefully seeing that this is a very special moment, and you can stop the video and enlarge it and read yourself the message. But I can see here already, wow, look at that. So beautiful. Now the 74 calculated together is the 11, and the 11 is then reconnecting you with the Justice, which is also an 11 in this deck. And we have though also then the other deck, and sometimes in certain decks the Libra is an 8 and not an 11, but it looks like you have even in the deck of the Universal Tarot, you have there as well an 11. Just going to show it to you. So here you get an 11, and you see that Libra is literally telling you something, is calling you, is giving you a message. And when I calculate that together though, then I get a 94. And the 94 calculated together is the 13. And the 13 becomes a 4. So the 13 is Scorpio, is the light that comes at your full moon. A big transformation, a big shift is happening, a gathering is going to happen, and you are going to enjoy it. And what's left is the 4, the Emperor, the stability, the heart space that is opening up when we are together with other people, for particularly with like-minded people. Like stitching that pulls and draws, the gathering folds of fabric weave people together in kindredhood. A meeting, a greeting, a seat at a table where communities work out how to live harmoniously, how to support all folk, to house, to clothe, to feed each other with compassion and love. Join together to make a world where nobody hurts, falls down, or is forgotten, but is instead helped back onto their feet to thrive together. Beautiful, right? It's like, yeah, you get the information. So maybe you should do a celebration on your full moon, which is in the next month, right? And so the message is already very clear. So we begin on the position of the Fool. The Fool is that foolish idea. You get the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is action. You take action, and it's connected with the constellation Sun in Aries. And so the 4 that was left here is taking action in the right direction with the gathering, with other people, showing the people that you care. And the 3 of Wands are the 3 stages here in your head, in what you do, in also the 3 stages of inhale and exhale coming down, 1, 2, 3, right? That's why I choose this little movement. You're not between 2 pillars anymore. You are a movement. And so the 3 is the Empress. The 3 is in your card, the triangle that's pointing upwards. And you see how he's facing the left, right? But we're going to the right and place the cards to the right. So that foolish idea is to take action. Action that will bring you to a gathering, which is in your next month in the full moon of yours that you get through Scorpio, the light. On the position of the Magician comes the lower world, the number 31. And 31 plus 1 is a 32, calculated together, we get a 5, which is then you. So then you see that in the lower world, all these crystals and all these jewels are formed. And it's always in the lower world that we sometimes don't recognize that the darkness is not dark. It's where we grow into the light. It's where we can start building roots. And you love roots because you are the Hierophant, right? You are the holy cow. You are the foundation of the money, of the institutions, of places that we can then gather and be a community and help each other, right? And so you see very clearly that the 31 creates a 4, which are all the 4 elements that are on your table here as a magician. And this is the inspiration. The state of consciousness here is that crazy, foolish idea to really make things happen. And the banner here, à bonne droite, means if I do good, good comes back. And you see then here the inspiration of the magician that says, yes, let's do it, because even in the darkest places, we can make something happen. And it looks like you see a little more of a darker perspective. And so there is more light now, because the call is to bring you to a place of really being here in then the 4, right? And this is also a 4. So it's a very beautiful connection there. On the position of the High Priestess comes here the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is Pisces. And you can see how Pisces is literally walking into the left, into this chamber. It's almost like emotionally, this is the 12 Zodiac signs, you are ready to actually see that you are here now, seeing what jewels you have accumulated in yourself, right? And that's all the pressure, sometimes the difficulties bring to us, but out of pressure a jewel is formed. And so the 12 and the 2 creates 14, which is a 5. But I also can make a 3 out of the 12, and then the 2 creates a 5. So nevertheless, right, the 12 is the Hanged Man, and the 3 is then, of course, the Empress. The Empress and the High Priestess, very powerful energy to actually see that they, when they come together, they can create magnificent things. So there's a 5, right, inspiring you. There is a 5 coming through Pisces. It's almost Pisces is saying, hey, everything okay. Just remember all the energy that you gained, all the light that you see in the dark is that you then can bring into this gathering. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Lovers. And the Lovers is that moment where you're taking care of yourself. The heart shape here where the Venus symbol is inside. Very beautiful. She's looking at you and she's saying, yeah, it's the 6 and the 3 creates a 9. The 9 is the completion. The 9 is a moment where you are feeling that you have achieved something, that you have arrived, right? And so you're giving birth to a new perspective. Maybe there's a Gemini. Maybe there is someone that is very clearly talking to you. And also, of course, here's a Pisces that is going to help you to see, hey, yes, you are having found your self-worth. You have worked enough, right, in the lower plane to see that the magician works with all 4 elements. And then he's the 5th element. And so the 5th number is then you, right? You understand why the number 5 is the human energy, right? The head, the 2 arms, and the 2 legs. So recognize this moment, right? The number 9, a completion right here with the help of a Gemini. Then comes on the position of the Hierophant comes the Queen of Cups. This is a Cancer, and she is water and water. She is a healer, and she is the 4th zodiac sign, and you hear the 5th major arcana together is the 9. So you have a 9-9 portal here, right, calculated together. And so the 9-9, 2 times 9 is like you becoming creative in the way you are feeling the completion deep within you, the fulfillment, the happiness, right? She's sitting here and she's actually looking at the right path, and she wants to bring her healing to the people. Now this is following, right? There is Gemini, and then comes actually Cancer. So it's very interesting. Maybe look at the dates, right? Because the dates are different. Maybe the person that you know is in the major arcana a Gemini, but in the court card the person is a Queen of Cups, right? So there are overlaying, also there is a shift in there. On the position of the King of Pentacles comes the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is an intense moment where you feel that you've been trapped within your own mind, within your own thinking. And you can see how she's sitting there and she's tied up. But that tied up moment is of her own doing. And so the 8 and the 2nd zodiac sign creates a 10. There comes then an ending to that, because you are seeing that 8 is that infinite moment that we recognize, the infinite moment that you have to learn to overcome, that everything is infinite. We're infinitely interconnected, and there is no end, right? There is just constantly this life coming and going, coming and going. And so though you start recognize something, because she's literally saying, hey, I'm here, I can help you. Don't bring yourself into your own mental prison, and just liberate yourself and see that you are the master of your own doing, of your own self-worth. Then on the position of Libra, right? Libra comes here with the 8 of Cups. And so you have an 8-8 portal here. The 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, right? And so 8 and 8 is 16. 16 is the Tower, but then 7 is left. And so recognize that mentally and emotionally, sometimes we come to a place where we realize, I do not want certain things in my life anymore. And there is a 2 here as well, right? Because it's the 11 calculated together. That would be the 2. The 2 and the 8 is a 10. So there is a 10-10 portal right here. And it means mentally and emotionally something is done. Something is finished. Within your capacity of recognizing your self-worth, and remember, your self-worth can only grow from deep within in the darkest places. And then, of course, Libra is literally sending you the 8 of Cups and saying, hey, have a look, because you need to emotionally move on and recognize that there is a new path coming at you, because next month you're getting your full moon. And do you want to bring that into your next full moon? No. You want to let go. And the 16 is the Tower. Everything is going to crash, right? But the 7 is left. And the 7 is then the success of healing yourself, the success of being with yourself. Then comes on the position of the moon, here the Dream Oracle, the number 26, then the 2, of course, the High Priestess, and the 6, the Lovers, right? The Lovers came on the position of the Empress. And on the position of the High Priestess came here Pisces. So Pisces and Gemini are here already helping you to create a gathering. The gathering that is actually speaking here to you, which is your call. So there's a gathering, and there's a gathering around. Look at this, right? So this is the 26, which creates an 8. And here the 74 creates an 11. So 11, and here an 8 is then 3 times the 8. If you clear this and this, then you can be in this gathering and be joyous and be happy, because that's the call, right? The 26, the 8, and here the 9 creates the 17. And the 17 is the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is upon us because Pluto, which is ruling Scorpio, and Scorpio is then giving you the light in your full moon, is talking to you that Pluto next year is going into the Aquarian energy. Is going to be 20 years in Aquarius. And so Aquarius is the new hope, are the people that come together and gather and want to celebrate and want to come together and having the gathering, the right people. You are going to that, right? You're seeing this now in your dream and you're recognizing all of a sudden, wow, yes, I have a lot of good people in my life and I'm dreaming of this gathering, the power of the community, and I am recognizing that the 888, 3 times the 8, is giving me then the 17, and 17 is of course the age of Aquarius, and then the 8 is left again. On the position of the Sun comes here the number 33, the eyes. And the Sun is the 10, 19, of course, the 1, the Magician, and 9, the Hermit, calculated together the 10. So you are ready because you had a 10 here. And you had a 10 here. Right? And so now you have again the 10 of the Sun, and so the 10 and the 33 calculated together, the portal here is then a 16, and out of the 16 we get a 7. So the 7 is left, but here we have a portal, we have the 10 and the portal, and you recognize that the horse is now not with the person anymore. The person has grown, has evolved, and is now here resting for a moment. And then I have pulled here a card from the Mother Peace Tarot, which I want to put on the position of the Sun, right? Because sometimes I feel like here in these cards, they're beautiful, but they're the elemental oracle, and it's missing sometimes something from the tarot. And so here you get the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, as you can see, is this woman sitting cross-legged, being guided by a butterfly. And it seems like this here is coming here, and you are like recognizing now the path, right? Out of your dream, you are living it, because when the Sun is in Scorpio, you're gonna come into this big transformation. You're gonna have your full moon, because Scorpio Sun is giving the full moon that is in your sign the light, and that's when clarity comes. And the clarity comes exactly to this position here. The 8 then creates 9 swords, and you will see that that one sword is important. That's the only sword that you want, and here's the solution. Meditate on that one sword, meditate and recognize that you are here, right, with the community, and you recognize that when you come out of this place, then you're healed. And so there is already like such a beautiful message. Then on the position of the world, we see here the number 20. The 20 was here the gathering, right? We had the call. The call was create here your tribe, your group, and you see that you are looking up at the world and see that you are now coming into the gathering, that you are listening to the call, because you went deep down and you recognize now you kind of able to go back into the light, right? Because you came now all the way from the new moon, and you are now allowed to be in the full moon. And look who's here in the corner: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, right? And so these are the fixed signs. And so you see that then you are looking, when I close the reading, into the 3 of Wands. And this is take action and see that certain things are really important. And the 3 is really important because the 3 is the 3 steps, right? It's the first real number because it's the new one. The 3 is always the new one, right? It's the new child. It's that moment where the child has realized, well, now I'm getting off of the horse and I go deep down, because here the child is sitting on the horse, on the white horse, and you have realized something now. You do not, right, need that anymore. Your clarity has come. Clarity has come through the Ace of Swords. And so you can see now and look at the 3 of Wands, which is Sun in Aries, which is, yes, I am ready to recognize my self-worth. I am ready to see the gathering. And it's almost like, if I put this here, right, it's like, yes, here you are. You see the gathering on your full moon and you are ready to enjoy it. You are ready to be it and inspire the whole world through this action. I hope I see you in the next reading, because the 13 came up. In a way here, the 31 is the reverse of the 13, right? It's also then the 4 that's then coming out of the 13, but 13 is Scorpio, is giving you the light in the full moon next month. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.